Hello, friends. How are you all doing? December time, all of you must be busy with Christmas preparation, exam times, holiday time, and all do get some time to read. What I want to do during December time, it's the cozy time for me. I just want to snuggle into a blanket, hot cup of tea in hand with a Kindle. Wow, isn't it a dream come true? But I read are a must to be in your TBR. I just finished Untying the Knot by Megan Quinn. What a book it is! It is so close to reality. End with happily ever after. But is it truly happy in a marriage? Always is it happy? Even a madly in love couple face the marriage jitters. And this book is about that couple, and you must read to know that. My next book, which I have read during this month, is The Sinner. In fact, I read that book twice. The best book, the best author who has given us, the readers, a treasure of books. All are very special, and it is Sapna Bhog. And it so happens that I have Sapna Bhog with me now, yeah, in today's episode. Are you shocked? Don't you believe me? It's true, actually. Finally, I could bring in Sapna Bhog for today's episode. Hi, Sapna. Welcome to my show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are so excited to have you here, really. And
I'm
firstly, Sapna, congratulations on your success with The Sinner. Excellent book, excellent.
I'm so glad you liked it. Thank you so much.
Were you expecting this response from the readers for the book? I've seen Insta and all blasting like anything.
To be honest, I'm just honored. I'm so honored and grateful that everybody has loved the book. And of course, with every book you write, you have this feeling that it should do a little better than the previous one you've written,
Mhm.
because as an author, that's all you can hope for. And this book is really special because it's the culmination of the first three books which I had written. It all comes
Correct.
down together in this.
Yeah.
And so because it's been so well received and everybody's loved it, I mean, it's been great. I'm really so happy and so thankful that all you readers have loved it. So
Oh,
thank you
do
all.
you know the after effects of this book? This is not Sapna Bhog who has written the Sehgal series and all. The after effect of the book is like for 2 days I've been still reeling with the same thing. Same Dev, Avantika, only this is going on in my mind. Actually, mind
Good.
blowing you are.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that, because then when you hear your readers, they remember your characters. And I mean, it's such a great feeling that you've written, some memorable characters and memorable moments for readers to still ponder over. So there's nothing better I can ask for.
Oh, this is really super. And you have bought in a writer out of me. I have named
Ah,
this series as a layered love story. It is like a lotus flower, just one every petal, the first book, then the ruin, rebel, enemy, all separate petals, and then the main flower, the Dev story is out. Wow, lovely it is.
thank you. You really said it very well. Thank you.
Okay, so now if I'm left with you, I keep boggling you with my questions and all. But we have
Yeah.
three other guests here. Two
Oh,
have joined.
wow.
I'm waiting for Richa, but let us start with them. It's
Oh,
Amreen
nice.
and Saloni, and I have put on a poll about the podcast episode with you, and I've
Huh?
got exciting results to join this episode. But
Oh,
since I haven't
wow.
picked up only two or three, so I
Huh.
I just picked some from them. And
Okay.
whom I picked is Richa. Richa, you know Richa.
I know Richa. Yes.
Richa,
Yeah.
Amreen, and Saloni. Amreen is my podcast jodidar. She's always there with me.
Yes, I know
So,
Amreen also. She reads all my books. I know
all
Saloni
your,
also. She also reads all my books. So I'm so happy to talk to all of you. Thank you for being
yeah.
here.
So all girls, welcome to the fangirling movement. This is our time. Okay. So all of us have so much to talk and so many curious questions to ask. So let us start.
So amazing to meet your favorite authors and
Correct,
get to
correct.
know them. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
correct.
I love her books, and I've been fangirling her for I don't know how many years now. So like
See,
talking to her, like getting um, like her answering all my questions. It's like a epic moment for any fangirl, right?
correct.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I absolutely love the posts you create. They are so amazing.
Oh my god, you don't even know what this means to me right now, yaar. I mean, I've been fangirling over your books for I don't know how many years. This is the exact chat that I had with Sudha right now, just a few
Wow.
minutes back. And like talking to you right now is like a big thing for me. So
No, it's
thank you so much,
absolutely
Sudha,
my
for having me here.
pleasure. It's absolutely my pleasure.
So, Sapna, I wanted to know, like,
Hmm.
although I love the Bond of Brothers series, but the Segals, they are still my favorite and they always will be. And I love it whenever you add those snippets about the couples in the next book. So will there ever be like, will you ever write an extended epilogue for all these couples? Like, will it ever happen? I'm excited to read them more.
No problem.
Yeah. So I was answering Saloni's question that, yeah, I mean, I should get around to writing an epilogue for all these characters, but I'm not sure when I will do it. But hopefully, yeah, someday I should. Yes.
And what about the Sehgal parents? Will they ever have their own story? Like they were amazing in Sameer and Rishi's book, and also in Ria's. Will
Yeah.
they ever have their own story?
So honestly, this I have not really given a thought to at all because writing about them means, writing, say in the 70s or something, like 70s, 80s kind of a thing. So I haven't yet, I haven't yet given that a thought. But I mean, it's a good suggestion. I should note it down and maybe
You
sometime
can
in the
pull it off.
future.
You can pull it off. We trust you.
Yeah, maybe sometime in the future I can, yeah. But this I haven't really thought of. I mean, I have readers who ask for even Janak Sehgal's story. So,
That would be amazing.
Oh,
yeah, like so many of them have
that,
messaged me and said that we want to read Janak's love story and all. So I said, oh my God, that would be like writing a bit of a historical set in India. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I think somewhere during independence it would come, right?
yeah, around, I mean, around that or maybe a little later, not around independence, maybe. I don't, honestly, I can't even think right now of that. It's too,
That, right?
too
I
complicated.
know.
The
Because in
timelines
the
have to
first,
be seen.
yeah, because in the first book, Janak's 80th birthday was celebrated,
In the
right?
second, yeah, yeah. In the
In
second book, it was his
the
80th
second book,
birthday. Yeah.
80th. So it'll be somewhere around during independence.
Yeah, so it's really difficult, then to write. I mean, it's really difficult to even comprehend that to write
Right,
in that
right.
era and all that. So yeah, but maybe I
Okay,
don't
but
know. I can't say no.
yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
but the thirst for books never end. And if it is something like Sehgal series, oh,
Hmm.
that should not end at all. Now we are even waiting for Kabir and Chaos children. What would they do? I've
Oh
suggested them.
wow.
Now when
Yes.
all meet, how would it be?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the first thing, the first target I have is to finish this the Sehgal series as it is because there are quite a few characters left to write in that. And once I finish that, then I can see a second generation. I can think of it at least. How to go about that, or whether to go about that or not, or just to end it there. I mean, like right now, I just have to plan for the next books before I think of that also.
Very good, very, very nice. Amreen, over to
First of all, hi Sapna,
Hi,
and
Amreen.
it's a great, moment for me as well because I got a chance to chat with you directly.
Huh. I'm so happy you're here, Amreen. It's nice to, talk to someone who's been such a follower of my books, and you write always such lovely reviews. So thank you for being here also. Yeah,
So, first of all, congratulations for my sinner, a
thank you.
wonderful, end to a beautiful series. And most important thing, what I felt about this stories is this series is every time we read a series, there is always one character which remains with you for a longer period of time. And this
Correct.
is the first series where a villain, basically,
Huh.
they was villain from the first book, and we all were
Yeah.
waiting to understand how he's going to come up. And at the end, we found that Dave is someone whom like we all were looking for, and he became the hero of the series.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
this is the first series where I felt that a villain has become the whole hero of a particular series, and the book and the book is and the story is really a very great end to a beautiful series, I must say.
Huh. Huh.
And
I'm so glad.
also
I'm so glad you feel that. Yeah.
and also like I'm very glad that Sudha gave me a chance to talk to you directly like this. So thank you, Sudha, for this as
Oh,
well.
anytime. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So my first question for Sapna is, what was one of the most surprising thing you learned in creating your books?
Um, the most in creating my books. Okay. So I think the most surprising thing which actually happened right in the beginning was that all the love which I got from all of you people. I mean, that was I was really surprised and very taken aback, especially once the Segals I started writing those books. So this entire appreciation which I get from all of you, that is something which is always overwhelming and always. It just makes me feel great that I need to try and do better and try and write better with every book that comes out. But I think every book is like a little bit of a learning experience because every book I write, I feel in the next book I try and see how I can improve it better, how I can make the language a bit better. Or the flow a bit better, or the distribution of chapters a bit better. So I think every book has its own thing which it teaches me going forward.
Okay, but the first book, it is the main book which needs some inspiration, some push. So how do you get that? Like when before starting a series, what goes in your mind? What do you think, and how do you bring a story out?
So a lot of it is, imagination. It all comes from my imagination that, okay, I want to write about this character. So like when I wrote the Segals, the first book which I wrote, it was like I always say it was never a plan to become a writer. I just had these characters. Like I have always said it so many times that Kabir and Kia, they like came fully formed to me in a dream. I dreamt of them, and I knew that I wanted to write about them. And then I've always been a romance reader and I like reading series. So and like every time and I've read some wonderful authors, and you just see that when they introduce a character in the first book, and then as a reader, I always want to read, oh, okay, this character is nice, I want to read what happens to him or her in the next book. So
Correct.
I try and introduce characters always like that in my book, so that I have a little bit of I mean, I can write about them if I feel like, and that is how the Segals came into existence, because they were already a big family, and they had friends also which were introduced in the first book. So
Mm,
so I knew it that by the time I finished writing Kabir and Kia, I knew that I wanted to write about Samira. I knew I wanted to write about Rishi and take it forward that way. Um,
oh,
but like when it came to Bond of Brothers, it was I mean, it was a very planned thing. Like I wrote this series for Dave. This was what it was about. I mean, this whole series, all the other characters, to me, in my mind, they were there because of him, because I wanted to
uh,
write him. So
okay. Yeah.
this was the idea which came into my mind, that I have never read someone who was always been a villain since over 3 4 books, and then he has become
Correct.
like a hero, like, or I don't
Yes,
remember
yes.
whether I have read this. I mean, it's not a very common concept. So
Correct.
so for me it was like very interesting and challenging also, and that, okay, like I have to show him in each of the books a little bit, like, okay, he's the villain, but he always had his reasons for doing whatever he was doing, so that all
Mm,
sums up finally in his book, where he is actually the hero of the entire series. So
mm, mm, mm.
so it was all a plan in my head when I did it. Like it was all a lot of plotting and planning in my own head, which comes about with these series.
Excellent, excellent, Sapna. Super. I have to salute your head for giving us such nice thoughts.
So, Sapna, we have three readers here waiting to talk to you. But unfortunately, one reader, Richa, is not able to join us. So, I have her questions to ask you. So, let's start.
Question is, how did you become a writer? Like, what inspired you, or what pushed you to become a writer?
So basically, I've always been a reader all my life. I've grown up on, reading Hans Christian Andersen, all those little stories of Cinderella and Snow White and everything. And
Uh-huh.
then I went on to Enid Blyton's and Secret Sevens and Famous Five. So
Correct.
reading has been a very important part of my life since I was a child, and my parents have always, encouraged me to
Encourage.
read.
Uh,
Yes, to
yeah.
encourage me to read. So when
Mhm.
I left my IT career to look after the kids, I think I did a lot of reading during that time because the kids were small and a lot
Yeah.
of time they were taking a nap
Time.
or something. So I did a lot of reading at that time. I think those years were the ones in which I really read a lot, because I had more
Uh-huh.
time. I wasn't working. So
Mm-hmm.
I think writing just became a natural progression from that, especially once
Oh.
I realized that I want to write about Kia and Kabir. So
Uh-huh.
when I wrote, like from that moment on, when I wrote Kia and Kabir, and when I finally got it published in 2016, and it got such good
Good
reviews and so much
response.
love, yeah, and so much love from all the readers. I mean, I was like, okay, fine, this is what I want to do, like so that is how
And
I became a writer.
lovely. And you never look back again.
I haven't looked back again. No, I just love it. This is my
Super.
passion.
Lovely. Correct, correct. And we loved you for that also. Uh,
Uh,
and Richa also asked, when are you releasing a new book? And what would it be? Would it be a series or trilogy or something like that?
Honestly, like I said in the, previously also, I'm not really sure. I'm still planning my year now to 2023. I'm just taking a bit of a break now, just to hang out and do nothing, basically for a while. And then
Correct.
let's see how this year goes. I still haven't planned it in my head. So the moment
Okay.
the moment I am a bit into writing and I have written half a book, then I will announce it. Ki, okay, this is what
Enough.
I'm doing right now.
Okay, superb. And Richa has a very big message and an important message for you, that she feels that you should have some kind of a magic wand so that
Oh,
you can keep writing and keep releasing the books so that we can read.
how sweet. I wish I had a magic wand to write fast, fast, so you can read it also faster.
Read, correct, correct, correct. So, Tony, you have anything to ask?
So I thank you, Sudha, but I really wanted to ask about the Bond of Brothers series, like
Hmm.
which you answered mostly everything. But I really wanted to know how did you plan these characters? I mean, were you inspired by people in real life or by some characters or what? Because every character is so beautifully and uniquely written, and each and every one of them, they play their part perfectly, be it in their own story or be it in the entire series leading up to Dev and Avantika's story. So how
Hmm.
did you write them?
So, I take a lot of inspiration from real life people. I can say, like, when I wrote Myra as a lawyer, I have someone in the family who is a woman and she is a very good lawyer. She's a very successful lawyer. So a lot of my women characters are inspired by real life women, and I say that with a lot of pride because I am surrounded with a lot of powerful women and women who are really trying to succeed and out. I was saying that. So, like, even when you see the Forgotten trilogy, and we talk about Alia, and she is a very popular interior decorator and architect. So, I have a very good friend who is that person. So, it's always a little bit like, at least the women have all been inspired by real life women who I know, like Kia. When I wrote about Kia, like I have a friend who is a very successful CEO of a software company. So, and we used to work together at one time when I was working in IT. So it's all a lot of it is taken from real life people, at least their backgrounds or some kind of mannerisms or their behaviors are a lot from that.
Very good, lovely. But they must be proud, reading. Do they read your books?
Some of them do read my books, yes, and they have read at least the ones which I tell them, okay, this character is a bit inspired by you, so then they will go and read that book at least.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's really good. It's nice. And I and Amreen have a somewhat similar question. Like, Amreen said, standalone or series more fun. But I think you haven't written any standalone till now. All
Not
of
yet.
them were series.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
not
do you
yet.
plan to write a standalone, or do you want to mark yourself as a sensational series writer?
Oh, I like that term. I can't. I mean, as of now, it's too early, like to say that or to commit and say that I'm only going to do this or only going to do that because plans keep changing, right? So honestly, as of
Yeah.
now, the plan is to write a bit more of the Segals this year in 2023. And I have to write. I mean, if you people have read my historical romances, then I have to write Leo and Cammie's story also at some point. So so these are anyways a part of a series. So after this, like once I'm done with all this, I don't know whether I will write a standalone or some inspiration comes and I want to write a standalone at that point, then maybe that also. But like no, I can't say right now how it's going to pan out, right, in the future.
Okay. But you
Hmm.
know what? Your next 5 years is booked. It's a 5-year plan. Sehgal, the historical romance, and what is Damon and Alia's book. Your
Yeah.
There is also a series coming there, right?
So
Forgotten Trilogy.
yeah, so the Forgotten Trilogy has still two characters, right? I mean, there is Jonathan and
Correct.
there is Gabe. So these two
Uh,
characters, I still could write about them. And honestly, I've not even gone there yet. So yeah, so definitely it's a long-term plan. There are a lot of characters which I have, which I can write about. So
so we
so
are
let's see
not
how
going
it
to leave you
goes.
for
Hmm.
now.
I'm sorry.
We are not going to leave you for now. We'll keep on bugging
Yeah, and like
you.
sometimes then inspiration draw I get some inspiration and it strikes and then I want to start a new series at some point. If that happens, then I don't know, like it's all very fluid right now. I just know that I would want to write a little bit more of the Segals in 2023. At least two books I want to do for the
Hmm.
Segals in 2023.
Lovely, lovely. We are so waiting eagerly, like hungry jacks. We keep on waiting for the book.
I mean, it feels so nice to hear you say that.
So Amreen and Saloni, over to you both. Anyone can ask anything.
Like I have one more question for Sapna. As we all, hello.
Yes, yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, Sapna, my question is like, as we all know, that this industry is getting vast day by day. Every day we see there is a new author coming up with a new book,
Hmm.
and most probably the genre they are using is romance.
Hmm.
So when you have so many competition around where every day we are getting a new author coming with a romance plot, I'm sure it becomes very difficult to choose a particular plot which is little hatke from the other people what they are already writing. So
Hmm.
how difficult it is for a writer to choose such plot and making it a grand success, because as we have seen, you have got a beautiful series just now.
Hmm.
So I can understand how difficult it is, but still when you're writing a standalone, because in series I feel we have still the time where you can pull out something in the next upcoming book or the next book in the series.
Hmm.
But when you're writing a standalone, you have only one chance where you need to put everything in a particular book which
Hmm.
reader is going to like reader have to like that for like a
Correct.
complete this what I can say. So
Hmm.
how difficult it is for a writer to come up with a new plot every time and with a twist so that the author likes it to the core.
So, Okay, so you know what? The thing is that the if you look at it from a perspective of writers in the West, or Australian or New Zealand or US or UK, all these writers, there are like I think thousands, tens of thousands of
Mm,
authors who are writing romances over there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many of them, I mean, are read by so many of us. Okay,
mm,
so the
yeah,
plots. I mean, I think the tropes are almost the same, right? I mean, there is enemies to lovers, and there is second chance, and
Yeah.
there is first love, and I mean, you all can tell me better, which are the tropes which
correct.
you all are reading,
Yes.
because you all
Yes.
are reading, I think nowadays much more and much faster than I also read. But honestly, I mean, like if you go back and see whether it was from Shakespeare's writing or Jane Austen. I mean, for example, Pride and Prejudice is enemies to lovers kind of a thing, right? They had that, and a
Correct.
second chance also was there in
Yeah.
that.
True. True.
So,
Yes.
but the tackling of that is how we make it different, right? Everybody writes in a different style.
Correct.
Everybody brings their own twist to it. Like even Pride and Prejudice, for example, has come out in so many. So yeah, so like I was saying, I mean, every author brings their own perspective and their own narration and their own narrative to the whole story. So I mean, that's all we all can do, right? I mean, and like for example, if you read very popular authors, some of them have the very signature style of writing. Like they will write in a
Correct.
particular way, which nobody else can emote, right? I mean, that is how the way
Mm,
they write. So, so yeah, like you said, Amreen, it's very in a series. It's much. I mean, you have a very big scope of writing in a, expanding your horizons and writing in a different way and all. And in standalone, it all needs to just finish at one point. I agree. So it's much more tougher to do that. And honestly, I can't comment much on that because I really haven't written a standalone so far. So yeah, I mean, I mean, like it's fine. Like the competition is not really a. I mean, why should it be a competition? There is a place for everybody, na? I mean, there's a
correct.
place for everybody in this industry. Look at the West. There are so many authors. They're all doing very well. So we can also all do very well together here.
Nice. And Salman, do you want to ask anything?
So I don't want to ask anything, but I just want to make a wish to Sapna.
Yeah.
Ki,
Yeah.
like, I want to read one epic scene with all the Sehgals and Rajputs together. That would be like an epic book, an epic scene to read. Don't you
Yeah,
agree?
maybe. Yes, absolutely. I can just imagine all these big giants in the same room together.
All
Imagine
the
Dave and
alphas.
Kabir and like all these guys all together in the room. So it would be so amazing, na?
Yeah.
Like I
So
can
is the wish
Definitely.
visualize it.
granted? Is the wish granted?
Not so soon, but hopefully someday, yes. Someday
Fingers
it should
crossed.
be. Someday maybe I can
In-
have a novella and all of them together.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
But Damon and Alia,
Yeah.
their book. Have you thought that it would be a trilogy, or have you thought it would finish in one book or something like that? Because
No,
only single story into three books.
yeah. It was
You
planned
haven't
as a
done it
trilogy,
before.
actually, Sudha. It was all planned as a trilogy because I knew when I was writing or when I was plotting it in my head, I knew it's going to be a trilogy, and I knew where each book in the trilogy, where it's going to end. I knew that I
Mm,
knew in the first book it's going to end here, and the second and the third, I knew it's going to end in my head already. So then I built it all around that. But yes, it was planned as a trilogy right from the beginning.
okay.
Hmm.
So lovely. All of us are. I'm still, I'm still reeling with Dave and Avantika's story right now.
Good, good.
I've read it twice in just a week. Just imagine what it is. I'm
Huh.
still going around. Amreen and Saloni, anything else you want to talk?
No, I just want Sapna to give us a brief about her upcoming project, which for sure we all are waiting eagerly. But we want to understand what exactly she's planning right now. Either a series or standalone, or how different it will be from the series, the Brothers series, basically.
So, as of now, my next plan is definitely going to be like in the year 2023, I want to write two Sehgal books. So then it's going to be same part of the Sehgal series itself. And I want to write. I have to write Leo and Cammie's story because like I mentioned in my newsletter that initially it was supposed to be only a 2-book contract with the publisher, but now I've signed the contract very recently. I signed a contract for the 3rd book as well. So
Wow.
yeah, so I have
Wow.
to do that. So yeah, I mean next year definitely these 3 books are going to be there. So Rohan and Gia definitely in Segal's, and
Ah,
Leo and Cami should be there sometime next year. And I don't know who the next couple will be in Segal's. Maybe Rajiv and Sheena, because I'm still very involved in the world of the Bond of Brothers. So so I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how it goes then.
will Rajiv and Sheena's book be placed in Bond of Brothers series or Segal?
So I think this will be the book that starts it all. So it is the book which is it should be book number 0 for Bond of Brothers. It should be book number 0 for Sehgal Brothers also, na, for Sehgal family also.
But
So
I
will you
think
mention
Rajiv fits more for Sehgal family, yeah, because Rajiv is a character which we took from there, and he
Yes.
played a very crucial role in this series as well. So
Yeah.
he's obviously going to be a Sehgal series ka point. For me, at least, I'm gonna put him into the Sehgal series
Yeah.
for sure.
You
I'm
know.
asking this specifically because in this
Hmm.
Bond of Brothers in the Sinner, they have, you have mentioned that before when these Rajput siblings met Rajiv,
Hmm.
that time Sheena was not in the scene. Actually, Sheena did
Yes.
not come into. Rajiv did not meet Sheena at all. He
Correct. Yes.
he later, after Avantika rejected him, I mean, he wanted to support her, but then
Yeah.
after she rejected him, later then he met Sheena. So
Yeah.
that is the reason I'm asking, will he come under this Bond of Brothers or Segal? And this,
So,
that's
I
why
am I'm really excited about their book, and I think let's wait for it. Let's wait to see who all cross over from where and how they come and all. Because right now it's all in my head, but by the time it goes on the paper, when I actually start typing, there are too many changes which happen. So let's wait for it. I've not even started it really, so let me see. It's actually for me also very interesting to see how to go about this, because of course Kabir has to be there in this. So let's
correct.
see. Let's see how it goes then.
It would be actually
Yeah.
fun to read Kabir and Rajiv bonding together.
Yes.
Kabir used to think Rajiv is a playboy, ironically, because
Huh.
Kabir himself was the biggest playboy of the country.
Yes, but
Correct,
he's a
correct.
protective elder brother, right? So
Yeah.
so
It
that's
would be
Lovely.
fun.
And in Rajiv and Sheena's book, and surely 100%, I know must Bond of Brothers will sure be there, right?
I want to bring them there, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it
But
finally
they are in
translates.
half of this session here. And thank you so much, Sapna, for joining on the show.
And
It's an
thank you all
always
of you for being here. So thank you, Sudha. Thank you for having me, and thank you, Saloni and Amreen, for joining in. It's been fabulous. Thank you.